Welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. It is officially that time of year again. Admittedly, my favorite time of the year around the YouTube community and the metal community on social media. It is list season, as I like to call it. And this is my top 10 EPs and demos of 2024. And my top death metal and black metal album videos will be coming out after Christmas. So you got about a little over a week now, close to almost 2 weeks now before those will come out. But it's solidified. I just need to record it and edit the videos, and those take a little bit longer because I talk about so much music on those videos. So, but as always, I always start off these types of videos with, this is my list. No, I didn't listen to everything this year. I know I missed a lot of things, especially when it came to EPs and demos. I feel like I didn't follow along as much as I normally would within this realm of music. Also, I feel like there wasn't a whole lot that was released as much this time of year, or this year as a whole. But I know I missed some, or possibly a lot. So don't get upset if your favorite one isn't on here. Just put it in the comments and tell me to listen to it. This is my list. It's not going to be the same as your list, but I just want to get it out there and talk about some of my favorite EPs and demos that I love this year. And maybe there's some stuff on here that you haven't heard yet, and get your eyes and ears on it, which is my favorite part of this time of the year. People always do their lists. I always find new bands on them that I haven't listened to yet, or they talk about it on that didn't really do much for me the first time around. I go back and listen to it and it clicks. I love finding new music. So this is my favorite time of the year. I love these videos. And some of people are already releasing their top albums of the year. I've already watched most of those videos. So I love this time of year. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 10 is Golgothan Remains with their newest EP, Bearer of Light, Matriarch of Death. This is on Dark Descent Records. This actually just came out relatively soon. It was released back in November 22nd. And ever since it's come out, I've been listening to it a ton. I really, really enjoy this. The band is from Australia. They have 2 full lengths previous to this, but this is their latest EP. It is 4 tracks, pretty easy listen. Very dark, evil death metal. It's got a little bit of a eerie vibe to it. A different style of vocals. It's not just low gutturals. There's high screams. It's a very desperate and just creepy sounding album. It's 21 minutes long. It's an EP. So yeah, Golgothan Remains. Great EP. I've been a huge fan of this, man. That glare is terrible. Gotta love CDs when you try to record videos. So if you haven't checked this out yet, definitely do so. If you're into the more unique style, kind of like a weirder, creepier sounding death metal, not as cavernous and crushing or not as knuckle dragging as what a lot of death metal is coming out, this is definitely a nice refresh to the ears, because it's not like the standard copy paste death metal that a lot of bands tend to be doing nowadays. So definitely check this out. It is definitely worth a listen. At number 9, we have another newer demo that was just sent to me by Caligari Records. Shout out to them. Thank you so much for sending this to me. Ever since I've gotten this in the mail, I've been obsessed with it, and this is Pestilent Ritual with their demo of 2024. This is a band that I don't know where they're from, and honestly, there's really nothing about them on Metal Archives. And this is just very crushing, brutal style of almost kind of like a war metal style of death metal. It's very abrasive, very catchy. Reminds me a bit of Antichrist Siege Machine. And again, I don't know anything about this band. There's really nothing about them on Metal Archives, and there's really nothing about them online, but it is 4 tracks and 14 minutes long. And yeah, really, really, really enjoying this. Cannot wait to hear more that comes out from this band, this mysterious band. And yeah, so Pestilent Ritual, check them out. All right, at number 8, we have something that came out really early in the year, and actually I had to go back and see, did this actually come out this year? Because it seemed like it had been out for so long, and that's because it came out in January. So it's been almost the whole entire year that's been out, and this is Corpse Pile's Hardcore Death Metal. This came out on Maggot Stomp on January 26th. So this is one of the first releases that I bought this year. This is their newest EP. Now this is a brutal death metal band with hardcore style of leanings. So if you're not into that kind of death metal, then this definitely isn't for you. But this is just really fun, crushing. And one of my favorite part of this tape is it just says simply "fuck your life," which is essentially the last track on this EP, and it's admittedly my favorite one. So really fun EP. I still pull this off of my tape rack from time to time when I'm in the mood for just some really good brutal death metal, some fun brutal death metal, something that I don't need to like invest a lot of time of listening and trying to figure out what's going on. It's crushing. It's got the pingy snare and all that shit that I really love about brutal death metal. So yeah, Corpse Pile, hardcore death metal. Or sorry, hardcore death metal. Okay, moving along. At number 7 is a split release between two different record labels, is Morbidity with Malignant Necropsy. This is a split release between Iron Fortress Records and Headsplit Records. Iron Fortress put out the tape and Headsplit put out the CD. This is phenomenal. As everybody knows, if you follow this channel, you know that Iron Fortress and Headsplit are probably two of the most common things that I show off, or labels that I show off on this channel. This is their newest EP. This is the only thing that they've released. The band is out of Chicago. It's just really, really good, crunchy, catchy, heavy death metal. They're not really reinventing the wheel here or anything like that, but it is catchy, it's fun, and just great riffs. And I've been really enjoying this EP ever since it came out. So this actually came out fairly recently as well. It was, oh, actually, no, it's been out since June, so it's been out for a while, but I got it fairly recently. So yeah, check out Morbidity. Definitely worth it. New band, Chicago. Oh, shout out to my hometown. That's where I'm from. And yeah, check them out. All right, so now we are getting into my number 6. This is a relatively newer release that I've shown off, actually, like within the last couple of days. I just found this band, and it easily went on my list because I am obsessed with this demo. And this is Perishing with Lutum, their demo of 2024, obviously. And they are from Costa Rica. Another Caligari Records release. I found this. Somebody talked about it on their YouTube channel. Admittedly, I don't remember who it is, and I'm still going back and trying to figure out who it was so I can like thank them. But this is really raw, crushing, just dark and sinister sounding death doom. And it has been on a frequent play on my tape deck ever since I got this. It is just the perfect style of music for those cold and dark nights in the winter, and just it's just so unsettling. It's a very dark and crushing death doom demo. I don't know much other about this band. This is the only thing that they've released, and for me, this is just an amazing demo as a first release. Really excited to see if they put anything out within the next couple of years. So awesome stuff. If you're a Death Doom fan and you love that more raw sounding atmosphere, you will absolutely love this demo. So Perishing, Lutum, I think is how you say it, right there on Caligari Records. All right, we're getting into my top 5 now. Number 5 comes in, probably not a shock to anybody that watches this channel. A lot of the $20 spin releases will also be in my top 20 death metal, but Corpus Offal with their demo this year. This was released relatively earlier in the year, probably one of the first releases that I remember buying. It was in March. And this is ex-Cerebral Rot members. So the Cerebral Rot is no longer an active band anymore, and they've moved on and they've made Corpus Offal, and this is their newest demo that is out. It is only 2 tracks and 13 minutes long, and it has definitely got that swampy, cavernous style of death metal, but they also are incorporating a more grindier sound to it as well. So I feel like that is going to be their first album, whenever it comes out, will be more of the death grind style of music and kind of tread away from that Cerebral Rot, swampy, gory, dirgy, old school death metal style. There's definitely some of that remnants on here, but for the most part, you can tell that they're going to try and incorporate a little bit more of that grinding sound to death metal. So yeah, Corpus Offal, Awesome stuff. Check this out. Really excited for this band and see what they do with their first release. And yeah, that is my number 5. Number 6, or number 4, I can't count. One that I've actually had for a while now. I actually talked about it for the first time ever the other day, and I don't know what took me so long. Atavistic Decay on Night Terror Records. This is their demo 2024, right there. This band is a death doom band out of the U.S., I believe in Indiana to be exact. The first release that they've ever come out with. Simply phenomenal death doom here. Very, very crushing and heavy atmosphere. Been addicted to this ever since I heard it. It is 4 tracks, 27 minutes long, so that's a pretty long demo there. I mean, you can even almost just think that this might be an EP if you want to be a nitpicker. But this came out on January 5th, so this has been out for almost a year already, which is crazy to think about. So Atavistic Decay, I'm really excited to see what these guys do next. This is a phenomenal demo. I've been obsessed with it ever since I heard it. I love death doom, and this is really, really cavernous and crushing death metal with those doomier elements to it. So yeah, check this out if you're looking for a new band. Definitely worth a listen. All right, at number 3, we have finally some brutal death metal. Something that I show a lot on this channel with Emasculator. What was this called again? The Disfigured and the Divine on New Standard Elite. So this blew me away. I love brutal death metal. This has got just the brutal death metal style of vocals, the crushing style of guitars with the really like just snappy, awesome snare sound of on the drums. And upon listening to this and looking into it, this is an all-female brutal death metal band. Admittedly, that doesn't really matter to me, but I was very, just was cool with that. I thought that was really cool. This is the only, release that they have out with the exception of a demo from 2024. These guys are awesome. It looks like, I think they're from Czechia or Prague. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's Prague. Yeah, anyway. Just so awesome. So brutal, man. So catchy. I love brutal death metal when it just hits, and this definitely just hits. So if you're looking for a new brutal death metal band that just crushes your face, has those guttural brutal death metal style of vocals, just so heavy as hell, check out Emasculator. Also, incredible band name, if I do say. Yeah. So anyway, New Standard Elite, awesome release. Check it out. All right, we are now down to my top 2, which they could easily be tied at this point. Depending on my mood or the time of day or the time of month or year or whatever else, I might actually swap these. But it was hard to decide what was my number 2, my number 1. So for now, this is what it is. But like I said, this could easily change. Number 2 is Purulency. I can never say their name. Transcendent Unveiling of Dimensions. This is just phenomenal. I've been obsessed with this ever since it came out back in January. So this has been almost a year now. One of the first releases to come out that I was simply hooked on. This is a split release between Pulverized Records and Caligari. Caligari put out the tape. So another Caligari release on this top 10. Just so crushing. Very good. Cavernous, claustrophobic style of death metal. Just really well written. It is 4 tracks at 18 minutes long. I've just been hooked on this to the point of where I've come close to buying the record because there's also a record version. But so far I haven't got it yet. But yeah, this is phenomenal. If you're looking for a new death metal band, definitely check this out. I cannot wait to hear what this band does next. This is the only release that they have out at the moment, and they're just phenomenal. This is very well written, crushing death metal. Check it out. Purulency. Awesome stuff. And then finally, at my number 1, this probably it won't be a surprise to anybody that follows this channel closely, has been a fan of mine for a while, or a follower of mine for a while. Fan just sounds weird to say. And easily, like I said, these last 2 could easily be swapped, but this was immediately, first time I heard it, I was like, yep, that's going to be a top EP this year. Sedimentum with something I can't say because it is in French. So I will put the name up on the screen right there. So this is their latest EP on Dark Descent Records, and then MSUO, Mesako Un Ojo, Ocho, Ojo, I always say it wrong. Yeah, so again, if you've been following my channel for a while now, you know that this is one of my favorite modern death metal bands. They're out of Canada, Quebec to be exact, and they only have one full-length album that came out 2 years ago that is simply phenomenal. But they were riding the high and the success of a demo and split that they had out previously to that. This is very good, crushing, cavernous style, claustrophobic style death metal. However, on this EP, they definitely tend to sway a little bit more on the atmospheric side, a little bit more of the doomier side of death metal, and even a little hint of funeral death doom. So this makes me really excited for where they're going to go with their next release. It seems like they're going to do like a progression in sound and not just do what they've done on their past releases. And yeah, it's only 3 tracks, but it is super crushing. It is so good. I was hooked the minute the first song started. It's got like that funeral death doom style of like organs, or I'm not too sure what it's like, some sort of a synth or organ that's playing. It's so good. 21 minutes long, just so good. This band is phenomenal. Sedimentum, check them out if you're not familiar. Phenomenal EP. Really excited for a new release to come out from this band. Their first full length is simply phenomenal as well. This came out on October 25th, so it hasn't been out for that too long, but it's been spun quite a bit. So, and that's it. That is my top 10 EPs and demos of this year. I know I forgot something. I know I missed something. So what I always ask everybody to do is in the comments, put what I missed, link the Bandcamp or YouTube page, and I will check it out. I always do a follow-up in the next year sometime, usually around January, end of January, of things that I missed this year that people told me to listen to that I now am a fan of or I've purchased. So there's a lot of music coming out. I'm not going to be able to catch everything, but from what I've listened to, these are my top 10. So that's all that I have. Looking forward to posting my top 20 death metal albums and my top 20 black metal albums of 2024. Those are coming after Christmas. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.